Goedendag, good day. How are you lovely human being feeling at this moment? So here is the start of a video I didn't think I was going to create. And funnily enough, I was actually talking to Thomas the other day about inspiration for his content. However, I guess here I am trying to film a video just like that. I had just finished watching the video from Ashley Embers. Really recommend that channel. She has so many amazing video essays about different topics. And the one I just watched is called Remember When People Used to Be Interesting. It's about hobbies, and it's about how a lot of people, as you probably are aware, are either scrolling on social media or purchasing items online. And there kind of is a lack of hobbies. So I thought I was smart, and I set my limitation on my phone with the YouTube app to an hour per day. However, I now watch videos on my laptop, so what really am I doing? So therefore I decided to pick up my camera and to introduce this video where I am going to rediscover or discover some hobbies that I want to grow in, that I want to spend my time with, so I can spend less time looking at screens. And I feel like for a millennial in this day and age, my screen time is not even that bad. Like, I literally just asked my friends in a group chat, what is your screen time today? Because mine was an hour and 50 minutes. I work today, which also helps with the screen time. But this video has really woken me up again to think, what are we doing with our time? Time is the most precious thing we have, and in class as a teacher, I'm very aware of how I spend the time, how the children view me, that I'm an example, but what example am I setting for just myself? So we are going to paint. About half a year ago, which is insane to think, half a year ago, my friend actually invited me alongside other girlfriends to go clay at her house. We made these clay sculptures, and I had been meaning to paint it. However, I never did it. I even got my partner to also join me another time and also create clay sculptures. And these sculptures I also didn't paint. So in this video, I am going to finish a project, or at least enjoy finishing a project. And if it's not finished, it's not really truly always about the finished product. It's also about the process, which the process is life. And that's, I think, what I can be more focused on. So let's paint. The dark gray clay sculptures is what I made at my friend's house and didn't paint yet. And a lot of the smaller figurines I actually did finish and used for class purposes. My partner made these, and I'm gonna paint those because he's okay with that. And this is like a shell bowl that I made. Inside is not as pretty, but that's okay. I got my paint. I have different kinds of paint, so I'm gonna see what I'm gonna use. But here goes nothing. Here goes something. Sometimes I get a little jealous of the younger me. I was noticing that I was overthinking so many things. Which figure should I start with? What color should I use? People are probably gonna comment saying that I'm using the water paint rather than the other paints that I have laying on the table. Throughout the process, I was noticing that I became more and more focused on painting itself. I noticed that I barely had any thoughts. I was literally just in the moment. I didn't have any screens around me. I didn't have any music around me. And the more sculptures I painted, the more I let go of that the sculptures had to look perfect. In my head, I was constantly thinking, for example, with this turtle, like, oh, I can correct it with my markers because I'm better at using markers than I am using paint and paintbrushes. And The whole point of this creative outlet is not for it to be perfect, but just to express myself. Something I also noticed that I had in my head when I did have the thoughts, especially at the beginning, is that I thought that the creation had to have a purpose. Thankfully, most of the things that I have painted throughout this creative outburst will be used in class for either word purposes, where the children can make words with the figurine next to it, or they fit a certain theme that we have or had in class. However, I have to also let that go. When I look at my younger self and when I created just to create when I was younger, it didn't need to have a purpose. I ended up enjoying this process, and even though towards the end I got a little bit antsy because I just wanted to finish, I reminded myself that it doesn't have to be finished today. It didn't have to be finished in one go, and it also didn't have to be the perfect status of the most beautiful thing I've ever painted. The more I painted, the more I let go, the more I started to experiment with the paint, the more I just did what I felt like doing without the focus on it looking too great. You know, I'm not an artist who has to pay the bills with the art I create, and it's just a fun activity to pass some time. I at least spend some time off of the screens. I think the end result turned out pretty well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Next time we're diving more into the educational aspect of motory skills and development. So when you're interested in learning more about that, stay tuned. In case you cannot wait, I do already have a playlist ready about all things teaching related. Thank you for watching again. Please leave a thumbs up if you'd like to. Leave a comment below of what hobby you would like to grow into more, or what hobby you like doing,